Imagine this. You've had a long day. You're finally home, curled up with your favorite snack, and like most of us, you open your phone and start scrolling through social media. You see confident people posting pictures, reels, and selfies, and some comments cheer them on. But then come the others, mocking them, judging them, telling them to do something productive instead. And just like that, you feel icky. You close the app and think, why are people so boldly mean on the internet? The internet has a disinhibition effect. You can be ruder to someone electronically than you would be in a face-to-face encounter, since the exchange has been depersonalized. Jonathan Sachs. This quote by Jonathan Sachs perfectly captures what psychologists have been trying to unpack for years. The internet does change us. It can have a disinhibition effect on us. John Suler in 2004, 21 years back, gave us the theory Online Disinhibition Effect. Hi everyone, I'm Anvesha and I'm a psychologist, and I wanted to talk about why people can become mean online. And one of my favorite theories is Online Disinhibition Effect. I hope after watching this video, you get to understand a little bit more as to why people can become really mean on the internet. John Suler gave this theory to talk about the way people act or say things online that they might never dream of doing in real life. And the thing is, not every time is disinhibition bad. In fact, like many things, disinhibition can be good and toxic. The good online disinhibition is called benign disinhibition. This is where people are emotionally vulnerable, they might open up more, or they might show a lot more empathy and kindness to others. You might have seen anonymous donations in huge numbers in charities. They might not want to have their names associated with it, but they donate nevertheless. A lot of people show so much kindness and empathy on online platforms under different videos and posts as well. But some people also leave very nasty comments, and that's where disinhibition becomes toxic. John Suler just didn't coin the term online disinhibition effect. He gave us 6 reasons why people may feel that disconnect online and be able to say and do things that they won't do in real life. And the thing is, once you get to know these 6 reasons, you can't help but notice it in real life. So let's go through them once. The first is dissociative anonymity. And it simply means you don't know me. People can use fake names, avatars, online personas. It can help people feel disconnected about who they are in real life versus who they are online. But that also means that sometimes they don't believe that there are consequences to their actions. There's a chance you might go on Reddit and see someone with the username DragonSlayer999 who's leaving very nasty comments, but in real life they have a 9-to-5 job. The second reason John Suler gave was invisibility, which simply means you can't see me. When no one sees our face or what we look like, it can feel easier for us to become blunt. We also don't have to look at someone's facial expressions when we are saying things that are hurtful. Now, let's create the scenario. You might be scrolling through Instagram Reels and you see someone showing off the dresses that they bought. You might see some people calling them ugly or the dress not looking good on them. The chances are, if the same person was to walk down the street, the commenter might not have gone up to them and called their dress ugly or said that they looked bad in that dress. Which simply means that sometimes when we feel invisible online, it can make us show less empathy as well. The third reason given by John Suler was asynchronicity, which is see you later. When you send an email, there's a high chance you are completely okay with waiting for maybe a day or two until you receive a reply. But can you imagine talking face to face with someone and you say something to them and instead of replying immediately, they just leave the room? But this is seen as almost normal online. You leave a comment and you can log out and never check back in to see if they replied to you or if there were any consequences to your action. You might see people leaving downright nasty comments and never coming back to reply. So people then don't feel the need to see reaction, they don't need to have any follow-up, they don't have to face the consequences. They can be impulsive and just leave the space. You might have also seen some people make uncomfortable confessions that they might not be able to make in real life and never returning to reply or clarify their point of view. The fourth reason given is solipsistic introjection. Now, this sounds like a very intense term, but it simply means it's all in my head. How often has it been that you've watched vloggers or YouTubers in general talk about their life and you wonder that if I knew them in real life, there's a high chance we would be best friends. But the thing is, these content creators are showing the best version of themselves. They're editing parts of their life to make it look a certain way. As we watch these vlogs or these contents, we keep on filling in the blanks with things or with values, with thoughts, with personality traits that we believe they have. So they end up becoming this completely new and different person. We think it's the accurate version that they show us, but there's a high chance that who we think they are, they're not that person at all. We end up believing that we know this person, but the thing is, we don't know them in real life. They are a stranger. There's a high chance you would be watching this video and make assumptions about me, but you won't really know me unless you interact with me in real life. But that can also be why some people can leave comments thinking, oh, I'm saying this as a friend, but the truth is we are also strangers to them and they are strangers to us. The fifth reason given by John Suler was dissociative imagination. It's all a game. Some people see the online world as not being real at all. It's almost like a game to them, which is why you might have seen some content creators make reaction videos of strangers who probably didn't even consent to be online. They might be commenting about their clothes, or they might be looking at situations completely out of context. But again, there are also content creators who react to videos where the person has consented to be part of the video. And there's also a chance that the person is completely taken out of context. Sometimes people's fashions are made fun of. Sometimes people's words or the way they talk are also made fun of. But people don't realize that at the end of the day, the other person is real too. If they come across these videos or comments, they might be very deeply hurt. The sixth reason given by John Suler was minimization of status and authority. How often has it been that you've looked at a commenter's username or you've seen a profile and you can say that, okay, this person is a CEO and this person is a regular employee? It's not that often unless they advertise their online business or they mention that they are in a very higher up position or they're working in a particular job. And that can make people find it easier to share their thoughts. The fact that they don't really have to follow the rules the same way that they might have to online. For example, when I was in school, we had an anonymous confessions page where people could talk about other classmates, even teachers, and share their thoughts without showing their face or even their names. And you better believe that people made use of it. There were so many people making confessions or sharing their grievances. But there were also some people who were saying downright nasty things about some of our teachers, which is why the confession page was then closed down. Anonymity can remove the fear of consequences. It can also make us feel comfortable to talk about people who might have some position of authority. But because people don't know us, it's easier to share our thoughts then. And it's not always bad, but some people can take it too far. Now, you might wonder, what is the impact of online hate? We don't need a PhD to know that cyberbullying has harmful effects. But I also wanted to talk about 3 studies where it was highlighted how online behavior or how different kinds of online behavior has impact on people. The first was a research paper 11 years back in 2014 by Nixon, which spoke about how cyberbullying has an impact on teenagers' mental health, like causing depression, anxiety, even physical symptoms, feelings of loneliness as well. and in extreme cases, thoughts of self-harm. Another study in 2023 based in Saudi Arabia spoke about how there's a direct connection between youth's mental health and the likes, subscribers, and comments they receive, which in turn means when we receive validation online, it has an effect on our mental health. Another study in 2023 by Zhang and colleagues spoke about how there are positives to social media as well. It can boost self-esteem. For some people, it can make them feel like they're part of a community. But once cyberbullying enters the picture, then all these positives have no meaning. People can feel very overwhelmed by the cyberbullying and forget all the positive impacts that social media can have on them. So this is not just about having our feelings hurt. It's real psychological damage. So you might still wonder at the end of the video, what is the reason people are mean online? Now, John Suler said that it can be a combination of all the 6 reasons, but personality also matters, and also which culture we are part of. They might take a similar approach online, and if we add anonymity and disconnect that people feel online, it might be amped up. In some cultures, like in ours or in Asian cultures, for example, it might seem okay to make comments about what people are wearing or maybe weight that other cultures might not do. And a similar approach can be taken up online as well. There's a chance that people are not trying to be rude, but they don't really realize what they're saying might come across as rude in a written format. But sometimes people do know what they're saying, and they might say things like, if you're online, then you have to be open about behavior like this. So what can we do about it? If we feel genuinely unsafe, we can block and report commenters like that. We can limit our time online if possible. Or we can also tell ourselves how commenters like this or comments like this speak a lot about them than it does about us, because they don't know us. But it's equally important to remember, not every critical comment is hate. Not everyone is trying to hate us. There's a chance we might have said something that's insensitive and they're just trying to give us a feedback. So we also sometimes have to take a step back and see how can we engage with this. Can we learn from this, or do we need to take a step back and not reply at all? The thing is, the tips that I mentioned are not really solutions. We do need better systemic changes and maybe rules and safety measures for online safety. But for now, every step forward does matter. If you like this video, feel free to click the like button and also leave a kind comment. Subscribe to this channel if you want to watch more videos related to psychology and mental health. And share this video with someone who might benefit from it. I have shared the links of all the research papers that I used to make this video, and I have also shared a written version of this video, so you can check it out as well. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.